Hi, this is Kelly, and it's day 25 of my 100-day juice feast. I wanted to have the camera pointing to our window so you could see all the beautiful snow that we got last night, but the backlight was just washing me out. You couldn't see me at all, which I don't know, maybe that's better. But anyway, I'm going to do it this way so you can see the little fire that I'm sitting in front of. So I wanted to let you know, so this is my topic for today. So last night, my husband and I went to this trampoline park in town for a friend of ours' birthday. She usually does this roller rink thing every year, but the roller rink is like in another town, and this storm was coming in, and so she didn't think anybody would show up if we had to drive way out of town. So this brand new trampoline park opened up, and so she had it there. I was a little like skeptical, although I wanted to check it out, but anyway, it ended up being super, super fun. And it was a workout, and I know rebounding is like something that people do. So we were thinking, a friend of mine was like, who doesn't really, she walks a lot. She's like a big hiker, and her goal is to like be able to hike the entire Appalachian Trail at some point, and there's some other trail somewhere. But anyway, she was like, oh, I could do this, so we found out that you can get like a winter pass. I don't know how they're defining winter for $35. And I thought, that might be kind of fun to do. But one thing I did want to share. So I was feeling pretty good about myself before I went because I'm down like over 14 pounds, and I can tell that my clothes are fitting better, and I feel a lot better. And so I thought I looked pretty cute in my sweatpants and my, I actually wore this last night because it's a running shirt that has wicking. Anyway, so my husband took a video of me trying to walk on this tightrope, and he was filming from behind, which he really should not have done. He should have filmed from front because my south side is not something that I want to look at. But anyway, it was a good reminder that as good as I feel and as far as I've come, I still have a really long way to go. And according to the scale, I'm only like 1.4 pound or 1.6 pounds, something like that, from the top range for a healthy BMI for myself. And my body is obviously one of those bodies that needs to be much, much further down into the normal range because I'm nowhere near looking like I have a healthy, fit body. So anyway, one of the other things that made me aware of how far I need to go was on this tightrope. So I have this friend who's just really, really thin, and she did the tightrope. And when you fall off the tightrope, you land in this foam pit. It's like these cube foam thingies. So she lands on top of the foam, and she's just like floating on the on top of the foam like a cotton ball or something. And then she kind of rolls over and just walks across it like Jesus on water. I fell off the thing, and I get wedged so far into those foam thingies that I literally, first I'm on my back like a turtle that can't roll over, and then I'm just like, trying to get rolled over. I roll over, and I'm stuck, and my face is like smashed into one of the foam thingies. I'm like Chris Farley, trying to get out. Sweat's pouring down my face. Meanwhile, Cotton Ball is standing over the side going, "Come on, Kelly, you can do it." And Tony's filming the whole thing. It was a tragic display of overweightness, lack of fitness, and complete lack of upper body strength because I could not hoist my massive girth up off of the foam. I was like pushing as hard as I could, and I was just stuck. It's like those memory foam mattresses where you lay in them and then you're just sort of engulfed by them and then you can't move the entire night. That's what this was like, and I was just stuck there, face planted. Anyway, so also I was like bouncing around on the trampolines. It was super fun. I didn't even get to the obstacle course, so I thought that might be kind of fun to do. So one of the lessons that I learned was just visually you can still see quite a bit of external excess body fat that doesn't need to be there. Also, my level of fitness was surprisingly low, and I run. Well, I walk jog. And I wouldn't have expected to be so out of breath just bouncing up and down on a trampoline. And then third, that I really have no upper body strength whatsoever. And I've known that for a long time. I like to run. I don't like to do anything else. And I know that I need more core strength, even for running, because I tend to get running injuries as my mileage increases because I don't have the core strength to keep my form where it needs to be as my body tires. And also clearly the upper body strength that I needed to be able to just lift myself up out of that foam pit was not there. And Tony and I love to do things like rock climb or zip line. I mean, you don't really need that much upper body strength for zip lines, but we like rope courses and obstacle courses, and I just need upper body strength. So that is going to be one of my goals to start working on, is to at least get some toning. I may just sort of focus on my core while I'm doing my juice feast, because that is enough. But I think we're going to maybe go back to this trampoline park and get more exercise in. But what I also want to say about that is Juicing Julianne, if you're not watching her YouTube channel, you should. She had commented on one of my posts about, she recommended start dating your husband again. I had talked about one of the things that my husband loves to do is go out to eat. Now, before he and I started dating, I pretty much almost never went out to eat. The only time I went out to eat was to one specific restaurant where I knew I could order the food exactly like I needed it to adhere to my meal plan. And I went with some friends who were totally fine with that because, I mean, they're also alcoholics, so they understand addiction, even though food isn't their thing. Anyway, one of my fears has always been that if I really stick to my food plan the way that I need to be healthy and sane and not food obsessed, that would mean not going out to restaurants as much as Tony would like. And I hate for him to have to make a sacrifice for my addiction. So when we first started dating, I used to like smuggle a bunch of stuff into restaurants, and that actually worked. It wasn't until we traveled the first time that I sort of lost my will to do that. And then I started making exceptions, like, well, I'll just order it this way without that. And it's just been this downward spiral. So I don't intend to say, no, we're never going into a restaurant again. And I would like to go back to some of those places where I was doing the things I was doing when we first met. But I'd also like to limit how often we go out to eat from now on. I mean, I just don't think we need to do it that much. So in order to keep like our marriage fun, and for him not to feel like he really got the raw end of the deal when he married me, I want to start introducing other things that we can do with our time that are just as fun. And we have a pool table. Tony belongs to a pool league. He competes at a state tournament every year. I used to play back in the day in college, but that was like back when mastodons roamed the earth, and I've pretty much lost my ability, and so I don't play because I don't like to, because I used to be good and now I'm not. But I need to get back into that maybe, so we can do that together. He loves games. He loves cribbage. He loves cards. I mean, we've got board games that still have the cellophane on them, because we were so sure we were going to get into board games, but then we never did because we go out to eat all the time, or we sit in front of the TV watching Netflix while we're eating. So I'm going to try harder to kind of implement those things. And I think Julianne's recommendation was spot on. So if you're trying to find a way to fill your time with your partner, your intimate life partner, and if you used to spend it eating, I think it's important that you need to make that transition. And for me, it's important that we do it before the end of this fast, so that it's already what we do. So we don't like get down to the end of the fast and then Tony's all, hey, let's go to, our favorite Mexican place. And I'm like, I don't think we should do that anymore. And then we just sit there going, oh. I want it to already be what we do. And I want it to be more and more and more fun every time we go do it, because we're getting fitter and we're getting healthier, and the things that we do are more challenging, or they're easier, or they're, So anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to share today. I had a blast at that trampoline park, although by the end I was kind of like, my lumbago, because I'm not in shape. But maybe by the end of this winter, by the end of my 100 days, I'll be bouncing my way through that place. I wish I knew how to edit videos so that I could put together a couple of the videos that we took. But apparently I don't wish it enough to actually learn how to do it. So maybe I'll upload, a couple videos just separately so you can see what we did, although it's pretty embarrassing. And there's some, South Side footage that you may not want to see. But anyway, it was a blast, and I will see you all tomorrow, and you please keep coming back.